Alright, hello guys. Hello fam. No. Uh, Back with another video on the Auburn season series. And apologize for not being able to do a preview video. I had a lot of classwork and stuff going on, and really I just didn't feel like any type of way about doing a video here. The way I saw it, there's no storylines going into this game. If you remember the Georgia Southern game from last year, even though it was an opener, so there's always some kind of storylines. Really, it's just like a dry run throughout the motions. You look at them preparation wise going into this, it's pretty much just working the offensive line, get the running game going, and that they did. If you look at statistics, the okay, well I didn't mean to close it. I'll reopen that. The team statistics. Well, you had, I believe it was 429 rushing yards. Yeah, 429 rushing yards exactly. On 59 attempts, basic mathematics, that's 7.3 yards per rush. That's a lot. I mean, you, of course, are playing a borderline D2 team. Shout out to ASU. My fam came down for the game. I didn't get to watch one because we actually had a full house, which I was shocked. We had a full house for about 20 minutes of game time, which I was surprised. But I mean, of course, a lot of people left pretty quickly. It was a 42-0 game after the first quarter. But for that time being, it was a packed game. I couldn't watch with my fans. So I just chill with some randoms. And that's also the point. Though the rushing game felt like more of how it's supposed to be at Auburn. A lot of off tackles, a lot of just imposing your will, a lot of broken tackles. Shout out to Boobert Whitlow, the legend, the myth, and the man. Um, he had, like, again, you're factoring in who you're playing, right? But he had a type of game that, in my eyes, and in what it seemed to be with the play calling. Yo, how loud is that fan? Let me adjust the sound a little bit. Hold up, I gotta turn this fan off. Y'all are getting this real life struggle right here. Hold up, just 1 second. AC, not the fan. I put it on fan mode. Maybe it won't be too loud. But yeah, this is like your old typical 2013, 2014 Auburn rushing attack. A lot of off balance, off tackles. A lot of speed sweeps, which I complain maybe not on here, but off with the camera, I complained quite a bit. There wasn't any like speed sweeps, under center, pass it, fake it, those type of things you see with Eli Stove, who didn't come back and not quite yet. But we did get to see it with, I believe, Anthony Schwartz one or two times, I want to say. And we saw it with, I think, Shivers once, Matthew Hill about one time. I'm glad to see that speed sweep come back because that was an integral part of the misdirection Auburn offense. But yeah, we got the running game going. I feel like the statistics pretty much say it all. Again, we're playing this team, but another thing is the passing game. We did a lot of things that make me happy, but also anxious in a way. Like, there's a place and time to take deep shots, right? Usually with Auburn, we take it off a play action. But they did a lot of just spread out and just pass it and see what's up type of plays. And a couple of those worked. Like the one to Shorts, who should be pretty much like a game breaker every time like it even gets close to him. Like there really shouldn't be an instance ever where Schwartz is like caught by another person defensively, a defensive back, because he burnt the guy so bad that he literally could still underthrew by a little bit. I guess trying to get the right touch on it. He stopped, caught it, and went back, and the guy still didn't catch up to him in time. I mean, I thought that's one of the most impressive receiving plays, well, from a receiver I've seen since like the Georgia Slayton catch last year. But I did like that we tried to work on the deep passing game because, I mean, we got Hastings back who, if I'm not, he didn't get the catch one. It was a good play, I think, I was throwing to Hastings. I forgot what. I think it was like a late breakup. that happened. Which, by the way, seeing that Hastings came back this early from a torn ACL, there wasn't any like real reports that he was coming back from what I know of. Again, I was at the game, so I didn't get to see any kind of media hype. Which shout out to the Auburn Wi-Fi. It's absolutely unbearable. Like it's completely useless in every single way. Literally every single way is completely useless. I wish they would work on that, but hey, it is what it is. But I'm just shocked he came. I know they say he's coming back into practice, but I don't think he was doing like tackle practice. Like I don't think they brought Eli Stove back too. I don't think they went through tackles in this practice. Wow, that's crazy. Shout out to their doctors and shout out to them on the work ethic. Seeing them, honestly, seeing the Hastings end was like probably the most surprising, most entertaining part of this whole game. To be honest with you, not really too much more than that offensively. Defensively, I mean, it was somewhat compared to the Me Too movement, and while that's very bad taste, it's also pretty accurate. They gave up of course, the first team didn't give up a single touchdown, but even the second teamers, they only gave up like one significant drive from what I remember. A lot of these statistics, passing wise, are kind of misnomers. I don't even know if they passed at all well against the first team at all. They picked on McCreary, I believe, a couple of times. I would hope that they, sit him down during practice, try to work on some looking behind you type of, routes, drills. Although I guess that could apply to a lot of people at Auburn. Just look up or back when the ball is. You can contest a receiver and look back, but I'm not a DB, so what am I saying? It was a pretty clean game, turnovers wise. We only had, I think, one or two that actually mattered. 4 turnovers, a lot of fumbles, a lot of youth that had fumbles. I know off the top of my head, Matthew Hill, who I was glad to see also. All the good receivers, all of the receivers, I was happy to see. I know that Hill had one. I want to say Schwartz had one too. And that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Schwartz and Hill, I know had one. And I mean, it was like just big plays that they had, and they just got a little bit loose with it at the end of it, and it just kind of scooped out. Which I mean, it happens. Happens. It's part of youth. I think Carrion was kind of shaky with the ball at one point too, and he got. Oh, you know who it was? Booby. That's who it was. It was Booby. He had another one of the other ones. It was also another big play that he had just gotten hit from behind, but I mean it's Booby, man. You gotta let Booby do what he does, man. That man is. Asa Martin's gonna be really nice one day, but as of right now, Booby is just that dude. Shivers also, I gotta mention Shivers. Had a standout performance, was fantastic. He's really tough to be I think 5'7", 170 pounds. He's shorter than me. And he could probably run over me with very little resistance, if at all. But yeah, those are the big things. Someone mentioned Christian Tutt. The punt return game, I think we had a pretty above average punt return game. We had a couple ones that could have broke out deep. Did we? I don't know. I feel like we did. Shout out to Christian Tutt. I don't know in what capacity we used him per se, but shout out to Christian Tutt. Daniel Thomas had 2 picks. Good to hear about that. He's good to see he's coming into his own as a roaming safety. I know he had to replace. I think he replaced Steven Roberts, and the other guy replaced the other guy. I don't know who that guy is, but Denson. Yeah, Denson. No, Denson is the field safety. I think Thomas is the boundary safety. But either way, I was surprised that we had Ian Shannon at kicker. I don't know why, but shout out to Ian Shannon. He made a couple of actual extra points, which is I didn't know he kicked extra points, but he did better in that regard than he did punting. Aaron Sipas, I mean, he was alright. I mean, it was 38 yards. He had one in the 20, so that was a pretty accurate kick, or accurate enough. But we're still looking for that Stephen Clark successor, and we haven't found him yet, which is unfortunate. But I'm glad to have we didn't have a kicking catastrophe, which we didn't have the opportunity to kick a field goal because I believe every scoring drive was an actual touchdown, which I'm glad to also see. But I only got in the red zone too often. Maybe we did. Maybe we were out the red zone a couple times. Try to wrap this video up. There's a lot of things to look forward to against LSU next week. I think there's going to be a lot of looks to get the passing game open like we did last year with Hastings, who's, of course, back now. We got Schwartz, who's going to be a good matchup. And Miami didn't play that bad for a good portion of that game. Like, they just couldn't stay with the pressure. The offensive line was horrendous. If our offensive line gives our passing game more time than that, I think we could, I don't want to say dice them up because the secondary does look pretty decent this year. But, I think we can have a pretty good day. That's all on my end. I didn't get to predict this game, but I would have probably gave you under the spread. I thought the 60-point spread was a little bit disrespectful. But, hey, that's, glad to see we didn't cover because that would be, shout out to ASU, man. That would have been disrespectful if we covered a 60-point spread. But that's all for me. I'll see y'all later. War Eagle. Enjoy your night.